Hey there, Alex Kidman here. Once again, doing a little bit of low light photography testing with a couple of premium smartphones because tech journalism is glamorous, kiddies. Specifically, I'm testing out the iPhone 16 Pro Max, just arrived on my test bench, just been set up, and the Pixel 9 Pro XL because it's one of the more obvious competitors for it. And before I go into the photos, which I'm just about to take to put them head to head, a couple of ground rules. The vast majority, not quite all, but the vast majority of all these photos are going to be handheld. Any framing errors are mine. I don't have a particular axe to grind one way or the other. Before anyone comments, yeah, I know there isn't a Samsung here. They're also the obvious competitor. I just don't have a flagship Samsung to test with. Would be very happy to include them if I could. The one shot that I will take, which will be with a tripod, I'm going to try some quick astrophotography here. The limitation there is I'm in Sydney. There's a fair bit of light pollution. I'm not expecting anything brilliant. Speaking of not expecting anything brilliant, these are not artistic shots. I'm not looking for, oh, that's brilliantly framed. I'm just putting them head to head in the same shot to see how they interpret scenes. So all of these phones will be able to pick their own focus points. They'll be able to do their own immediate shot processing, but that's what you'll see. I'm not doing any other post-processing. And now, on with the show. First up, a shot I've taken a million times while doing low-light photography, just of a field in a park nearby me. Here, I think I'm actually going to give this one to the Pixel. They're both pretty close, but I think the Pixel does a better job of picking up the gradations of colour in the grass, for example. Obviously, both of them get the sky in slightly different ways. Next up, a handheld shot just of the moon because it was a full moon. I knew this was not going to be a good shot, but it's fascinating seeing how differently each phone takes this photo. And here, I think I'd actually give it to the iPhone. Yeah, neither is a good shot, but the iPhone just grabs so much more light for this photo. It just does better in that respect. A grouping of trees, which honestly to the naked eye were just a blackened mess. Now, the Pixel 9 Pro XL does a reasonable sort of job of grabbing detail and colour here, not too bad, but it's outdone by the iPhone really handily. I mean, this one is not particularly close. The iPhone absolutely takes the prize for this particular photo. Low light, of course, isn't just about no light. It can be about specific light sources. So I've taken variations of this photo a lot over the years as well, looking towards a very well-lit clubhouse. And the differences here are interesting, but I think I'm going to give this one to the Pixel. The iPhone obviously gets more light, but I think, again, the Pixel does a better job of representing what the grass looks like, of getting more gradation of colour in there, where the iPhone tends to look a little bit more washed out. Are cricket nets haunted at night? I've got to hope not. Here, the Pixel does a fair job. I mean, it was very, very black. I couldn't actually really see that the stumps were there, for example. But I've absolutely got to give this one to the iPhone, which almost makes it look like a daytime shot, but absolutely picks up, for example, the artificial grass that's at the back there in a much more pleasing way than the Pixel manages to do. You'll never convince me this ride on horse isn't haunted. Haunted by the things it's seen, of course. But while I really love the dark, moody aesthetic of the Pixel 9 Pro XL shot here, the iPhone absolutely just gets more colour, a better shot. It just works a whole lot better. It's doing much better with the low light it's got. And again, I'm not going for artistic here. I'm going for picking up the differences. And here, the iPhone absolutely takes it. Low light selfie time. And here, spoiler, the Pixel does not win. Although the Pixel wins because it doesn't cheat. The iPhone cheats, sort of. Because what the iPhone does, and I say sort of because Samsung does the same thing, even if you don't have flash enabled, for low light selfies, the iPhone will put up this big kind of pink-orange screen to help light your face. The end result, though, is you do get a better photo. I don't actually know why Google doesn't do that. It just doesn't. Astrophotography time. Now, I'll point out these are just using the stock apps. I know there are dedicated Astro apps for, I think, both platforms, but these are just the stock apps. I'm going to give this to the Pixel, though. It picked up more stars than the iPhone did, even though it didn't pick up that many. Of course, that's also because the Pixel, by default, will do like a 4-minute exposure, and the iPhone just will not run for that long, even when it's on a tripod and even when it's quite stable. I will let the Pixel have this one in the same way that I'm letting the iPhone have the selfie shot, even though they've used slightly different methods to get there. So there you have it. That's my take on some just quick and simple comparative photography between the Pixel 9 Pro XL and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. The iPhone fairly clearly won most of those, but I'd be interested in people's perspectives on this. Were there photos that you thought were better? Were there tests that I should have otherwise done? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Now, if you'll excuse me, the Haunted Horse is my new master now.